Welcome. Welcome to stream day 19, where you will be learning how to build persistent browser sessions for AI agents and employees, and how the AI employees can log into websites and work like human beings. Right? This might not be an exciting session, but it's going to be a very insightful session because this is the next stage of evolution. Once you have AI agents working in your company and employees working in your employees working in your company, and you create a digital workforce, then you go think, right, how are they going to log into your browsers, etc. Just like normal human beings log into a browser, AI agents also need to log in a browser, do work, do tasks, log into your CRM, maybe your Stripe, maybe your like merchant accounts, and other systems or accounts that you might have to log in, right? So this is a major challenge sometimes, but this is the new economy. And now you're seeing how we are building a native company from the ground up. So imagine waking up tomorrow morning, discovering your AI employees have already logged into your business systems. They've already checked your emails. They've responded to customer replies. They've posted content on your LinkedIn, updated your CRM, checked your Stripe payments. They've downloaded yesterday's reports. Very powerful. They've replied to comments on social media, and they've done all this without asking you for a single password. Now, here's the question. What if your AI employees can use your computer exactly like how you do? Not through APIs, but through a complicated integration system by acting or opening up your browser, navigating to websites, clicking buttons, filling in forms, uploading files, downloading reports, and completing work exactly how human employees would do, right? Because this isn't the future, it's actually already here. I'm about to demonstrate you. And today, I'm going to show you how to do exactly that. So I want to welcome you all to this stream, day 19. And if you're new here, my name is John Mohammed. And on this occasion, I hope it's going to be spectacular, but we've got a challenge to build the world's first AI native company with a workforce of digital employees, right? One agent at a time. Every single day, we're building another piece of the pie of the platform, right? Another AI agent, another business system, and documenting the entire journey live. My goal isn't just to talk about AI, it's to build a real company where AI agents become digital agents and capable of running marketing, sales, operations, customer support, research, finance, and administrating and working alongside human beings, right? So today we're building one of the most powerful pieces of that vision. And my goal is to empower at least over 100,000 companies to be AI native, right? Not to just use like Claude or ChatGPT as a patch on your business, but to build companies from the ground up, because this is the future, right? This is the future, having AI centralized in your nervous system of your business. So today we're going to be doing that. And you will learn today, by the end of the session, you will understand how to exactly give your AI agents something that most businesses completely miss out. That is a persistent browser. And we're going to be covering what a persistent browser is today, why it's one of the biggest unlocks for AI automation, how browser profiles remember login securely, how AI employees can work inside your LinkedIn, your Gmail, your Shopify, your Facebook, your Go High Level, or any other CRM, your Stripe, and thousands of other websites. And while browser automation is one of the most powerful things than traditional AI API integrations, right? How to build this into your existing AI operating system, right? That works for every client. But that's what you're going to learn by the end of the stream. You'll also understand how AI agents operate almost on any website on the internet if they were sitting at your keyboard, right? This is a big shift. For years, automation has depended on APIs, right? majorly. The problem is that not every platform has an API. APIs are sometimes expensive, right? And there's sometimes it could be hard to navigate. Some don't expose the features that you need. And many business processes still require someone to physically log in to a website to check through the interface, right? And this is where browser agents change everything. Instead of asking what software does need to use an API, you ask how can a human being be in that browser like an AI agent, right? Because humans can do it, right? But we want now the AI agents to start logging into browsers. So this dramatically expands what AI can automate significantly across your whole entire business. So meet your digital AI employees. Think of it like this. Let me show you. Let me just share my screen. Right here, we have an army of AI agents working 24/7, right? 48 for our own business and also what we help deploy into businesses, right? Think of hiring a new member, right? On their first day, you give them a laptop, a web top browser, login details, access to your business tools. Now, imagine doing exactly the same thing for your AI agent or AI employee. Instead of teaching that person how to use LinkedIn, Gmail, Stripe, Shopify, or teaching an AI agent, you launch a secure browser, right? Where these agents can log in. And once you do that, the browser remembers everything. And from then, the AI employee has its own digital workstation that can return to it where any time possible to do the work that is necessary required for that given day. Right? Why does this matter? Imagine giving one AI these instructions, right? Today I want you to upload YouTube videos, right? Behind the scenes, the AI can upload YouTube, right? Open YouTube Studio, upload the video, create or add the thumbnail, write the title description, paste paste the title description in there, schedule and post, right? Open LinkedIn, create a promotional post, publish that post, right? Same thing for Facebook. Publish the post, share stuff on X, update your CRM, email your team live, right? All at one browser, right? One mission, multiple websites, one AI agent doing that, right? The power of persistent browser sessions, we call it, creating a persistent browser session, which this stream is about, right? Building That's how we have the concept of building an AI native company. This isn't just about automations, it's about creating an AI native company anywhere. Digital agents and employees can have access to the tools to contribute to the missions and goals of the company and do their daily objectives. Just as human employees, right, would have a desk, a computer, right, access to company systems, each AI agent would need to have the same thing, right, with a secure browser profile, business context, permissions, and responsibilities. Instead of isolating automations, you begin to build a coordinated, shall I say, workforce that collaborates across all departments, shares information through your company playbook, executes complete work or complex workflows under the direction of the digital chief operating officer, right? Which is also an AI agent. In today's session, we're going to be building that foundation, and I'm going to be showing you live during the stream how we're going to design the complete computer architecture together. We will look at how browser sessions are created, how they're stored securely, right? How Playwright controls the browser, how Firecrawl completely controls the browser automation through public research, how the chief operating officer delegates browser-based tasks and works, how multiple AI employees can share authentication through access, right? Safely. How clients' workspaces remain isolated and secure, how all of this, right, fits into the vision of the AI workforce and the native building a native um company, right? And this is why we've built our platform to deploy and enable this, right? When you're working, some people ask what's the difference working in ChatGPT and Claude, right? And co-work. And they have limitations, but once you have your own ecosystem, you have AI infrastructure, which is the nervous system of your company, this is where you start to shoot ahead. So by the end of the day's stream, you'll understand how to transform a simple web browser into one of the most valuable assets for all your AI agents and employees who can have access to them and have a persistent, dedicated workspace that lets them interact with the web like human beings and build and work with speed, consistency, and scalability, right? So grab, right, a drink, some water, coffee, and let's begin, right, this browser infrastructure that will power your native company and will help you be the next generation of companies. I don't think you understand how this is not even an understatement, right? Be AI native empowered completely changes the game. And I see videos talk about AI native, right? But not in this true sense of the word. They might talk about, all right, building the brain, right? And you might use obsidious, right, of the brain, but you need to create your own ecosystem, right? Where you have executive talent like a chief operating officer, chief finance officer, all liaising, right, in that ecosystem, right? When you're working with Claude and ChatGPT, they're outside of your ecosystem, right? Claude owns the rights, right? ChatGPT owns the rights, right? You with me now? They've done partnerships with government organizations. So at any point in time, your whole business can be known or exposed. You don't have intellectual IP, right? This is so important going forward, right? So this is where building your own ecosystem, which we help clients to do and companies do. Now you establish true company sovereignty. I like to say that's a new word, true company sovereignty, all right? So let's get started. I done these are just a swarm of AI agents that we're working with. I've explained this in numerous sessions, right? We come here, we see what agents are working. And sometimes, right, definitely, this is where agents will sometimes need their own dedicated, this is a bit advanced, their own workspace to execute tasks. But we have a chief operating officer here, which sees and operates, right, and assigns missions and protocols and tasks to the agents based on the business playbook that we have, right? Developed. Every company has a business playbook. What actually happens, the brain, and then we have a mission control where stuff is executed, right? Where missions are executed on a daily, weekly basis, right? So this is what I call an ecosystem. I've showed it before. I can create a mission, right? Any company, I can say what. Let me see what mission can. Let me just test this new feature. What we can say. We've got this text talking feature. Let me see. I think it's bugging out today. Let me just type it. Sometimes we vibe code live, but I'm just gonna fix that issue later. What sales missions can be created today? Right, and it can whip because every part is integrated. The chief operating officer knows our business model, right? The mission control knows what's actually happening, right? So it can start assigning, right? We're in a credible time period in history, the biggest shift, right? The chief operating officer agent can start assigning tasks, right? Because it knows our business playbook, right? Mission control is where now it's come back, right? Sales missions you can launch today based on the availability of your AI employees, right? Ready to deploy. Cold lead reactivation, right? These are a sales intelligence analysis agent for a course, right? These are all different, right? It's telling us what we can execute in sales, right? And it's going to be different for every company, right? So also, if I go to create, I go to workflow, got numerous different ways. We can load a template. And so you see, here's a sales. This is another way how we can do it, right? A visual illustration. Our VI, all the agents pop down here. We choose, and now we're building the missions. And then once we have these missions, we can create routines where this sequence can happen on a daily basis, weekly basis, whenever we want, right? So let me just jump in, right? Because some of these agents now, to log in, they're going to need a browser session. So we developed what we call the browser setup. So let's go in here, right? This browser setup. Let me talk you through, right? This browser setup works on the basis, right? Here, if we're setting up a browser, here, first we launch the browser. Click to launch the page, right? This launches a Chromium window or opens up, right? Then we log into the sites that we want to browse. This is a quick shot, right? Then we save the sessions. The sessions are saved. Then the AI agents can log in. They can log in once a browser session is being created, right? And these are just pro tips we're going to cover, right? So this is like how it works in a nutshell, right? 7 ways to use the persistent browser for LinkedIn, go high level, meta ads, right? And the list goes on, right? That's just a snapshot. Now we're going to go into detail, right? And we actually, how we do this, right? You create an account with browser base, right? To create these persistent windows, right? And then we connect it, right? Via API. That's how we're having this integration. But let me come to the explanation now, right? So what is a persistent browser? A persistent browser allows AI agents to work inside websites exactly as a human being without requiring a user login every time. Instead of relying on APIs, the AI agent uses real browsers that remember logins, cookies, authentication tokens, and browser settings. Once the user connects their accounts, the AI agents can securely perform tasks, right, on authenticated websites such as LinkedIn, Facebook, Gmail, Go High Level, Shopify, and thousands of other web applications, right? Like I said, the method how we do this, right? We use browser base at the behind, right? The scenes, right? To create these browser sessions, right? So what these are example use cases what browser base can do. A5 access percent or 80, it can access 85% of stuff which is beyond reach of APIs, right? Agent logs in, navigates, pulls data, logs, does everything it needs, right? Build agents that never sleep, right? Also, in a browser, the agents can never sleep because they're working in the browser window, which is so important. It can work 24/7. If you close your laptop, something, the browser's still working. It can send, right? Your AI agent can organize and act data and do anything accordingly, right? Let agents fill in the blanks, right? Job applications, vendor portals, etc. and whatnot. Anything that you need to do. Unblock tasks that get stuck with agents, right? So this is the architecture, right? In doing this, right? I want you to understand. So the user clicks, right? Logs, connects their account, like what we said. Then a persistent browser launches, right? It launches a Playwright browser, which creates a workspace browser, right? Which opens it up for the user to log in. And then there's a live browser window, right? Then you can log into websites like LinkedIn, Facebook, Google, Go High Level, Stripe, etc. Right after that's done, the browser session stores cookies, local storage, sessions tokens, authentication, right, browser history, and extensions. Right later, the AI agents receive a mission. Right, the chief operating officer now. What can the chief operation can do? Right, it can start assigning agents, right? You have through the browser agent and Playwright automation, the agents can now start fulfilling missions what they're given on tasks, right? So how does this look like? Right? I'm going to break it down step 1, step 2, step 3. Let's go here, right? So step 1, right? Let's break it down again. All right, I've done in multiple facets by diagram. Now this is by like words, so you can really comprehend this. Because first of all, when I got this concept, it took me some time to comprehend. So the user connects their accounts, right? Everything begins with that inside the platform, right? Let me just bounce to here. Right, connect accounts. You see connect accounts, right? It's perform. So we connect accounts, right? This is how we connect accounts, which is the key part, right? Once we connect accounts, the purpose of this step is to give complete control of that account, right? To eliminate, right, what the AI needs to store passwords, to create trusted relationships between like the user, the AI agent, and the website, be whatever it is. Facebook, Stripe, whatever, right? This ensures the browser session belongs exclusively to the AI and the user's workspace. Step two is that now we launch the persistent browser, right? When the user clicks the persistent browser, the platform creates a dedicated instant using Playwright persistent browser context, right? It opens like a temporary browser session, and that browser session behaves like a Chrome, like installed like extension on your personal computer. Every setting, login, extension cookie, right, is stored, right? For example, right? I go to Stripe, right? Or I go to Go High Level. The persistent browser stores the cookies, the location, the browser history, right? Everything that needs, the website authentication. And from that point forward, the browser becomes the digital identity for the AI agent, which they will use from that forward on, right? The purpose of this step is to create a permanent browser environment and separate the client's browser profile from another, allowing agents to return, right, at any point in time in that browser session. That's so important, right? So important. So this is what distinguishes, right? Sometimes when you ask maybe Claude, right, or Cowork or other platforms, they can't actually go into the sessions, right, because of this factor, right? This is the way how we circumvent that, right? Step three: the user logs into the website. Once the browser opens, the login now whatever services, right, the AI workforce can use, right? The AI agents can now use, be it LinkedIn, Facebook, Gmail, Google Workspace, YouTube Studio, Go High Level, Stripe, the list goes on. Slack, right? WordPress, be it, right? The user completes the required authentication. Step one, step two, right? Two, FA, security, captions, right? This is sometimes what a major challenge. Now, the user can perform these actions manually and the browser will stay logged in. After the authentication is complete, the browser is now a trusted browser and work session for the agent. The purpose of this is to establish authentication sessions, allow websites to be recognized the browser with a legitimate device login, right? Ensuring the AI agent can have access to it later. So key, right? Step four is that browser session now, right, is now stored. After successful login attempt, the browser automatically stores everything required to maintain unauthenticated access, right? You don't hear no one talking about this on the net, right? This is the deep level, right? And that's why I said, right, this is how we're creating AI agents to become AI employees and create a digital workforce because we're giving them access to these resources, right? This includes cookie sessions, authentication tokens, local storage session, index databases, browser preference, website sessions, extension data, and trusted data, right? Device data. This information is then encrypted and secured as part of the user's or an AI agent's workspace. The platform never needs to know the user's password again, right? Key, right? The purpose of this is to keep the users logged in between sessions and our agents to logged in between sessions and remove the need for repeat authentication, which creates a reusable digital workspace for AI employees. You comprehend that, right? Step five, right? Oh, building a AI native company. This is what it takes, right? For the browser profile is now saved. This is complete, right? The completes the browser profile, which is now stored inside the user's workspace, right? The AI agent has access. Think of it as a virtual, right, employee computer. Whenever the AI agents need to complete work, it now opens that browser instead of starting from scratch. For example, John's workspace, like my company, right? My browser files, all they're all linked in and encrypted, right? Every AI employee now works within that dedicated workspace with a trusted browser environment. The purpose of this is to keep every AI's employees access with the same business tools, right? The same business environment. It eliminates competitive task setup, creates consistency across multiple agents. Step 6, the chief operating officer now receives the mission, right? What that business needs to achieve. The mission, right? So let's go back. Let me just put you on track. Let's get back to the chief operating officer, right? This would be impossible to achieve with our ecosystem, right? This is the chief operating officer. It's executing, right? Now it's got access. It can liaise, right, with all these agents, right? And we are optimizing our platform where we're going to see each agent's conversation so they can interactively talk amongst each other, right? So that's why I say people always ask me what's the difference between AI, ChatGPT, right, and Claude Cowork. Where you can't see agents interacting, talking amongst each other, right? This is an incredible advanced breakthrough. And then you see the chief operating officer liaising with these agents, right? And then you see them at work, right? I'm telling you, this is what we call an AI native company. So the chief operating officer agent receives the mission at later point, right, can now assign work to AI agents and employees. Examples: publish today's LinkedIn post, download Stripe payouts, respond to customer emails, update CRMs, check Facebook comments, upload today's YouTube video, and so on. The chief operating officer receives objectives and determines which special agents are required to complete the mission. Just imagine how far we've come in the last 100 years to this present day, right? This is the biggest shift in business, right? For example, mission, right, could be launching a marketing campaign with a content agent, right? The browsing agent now liaises, right? A CRM agent reports, right? And so forth. The chief operating officer acts as the orchestrator, breaking complex objectives into manageable tasks. The purpose of this step is to convert business goals into executable workflows, to coordinate multiple AI employees, determine which systems need to be accessed, right? Step 7. We're getting there. We're getting there. The browser agent loads saved sessions, right? Instead of asking the user to log in again, right? If you're a company, you don't need to go, right? Imagine you've got 40, 30 AI agents. Now you don't need to log into every session, right? The agent now, the browser agent now simply overs the previous saved session, right? Within seconds, now they can look, LinkedIn will be authenticated, your business email will be authenticated. If you're doing e-commerce, Shopify will be recognized, Go High Level will be connected, right? From the prospect of that website, perspective of the prospect of that website, nothing has changed, right? It has the same trusted browser returning to continue to work. This dramatically reduces the time required to execute tasks, right? And avoid unnecessary interruptions. Like I said, the purpose of this step is to instantly restore authenticate sessions, reduce friction with users and AI agents, and enable AI agents to begin work immediately, right? Like I say, when we see this agent swamp, right, the agents are just working, doing exactly that, right? We're living in a remarkable time, in an AI native, right? Task 8, right? Step 8. Now, once the browser is ready, Playwright is exactly right, acts as a human being, right? AI can now navigate through websites. Boom, boom. Claude can't do that to some degree, right? It does it. Claude Cowork does it to some degree, but you always hit limitations. All right, now I need you to do this. I need you to do that. I need you to do that. This is where we circumnavigate that, right? It can navigate through websites, click buttons, fill in forms, upload files, download reports, copy information, read web pages, interact with dashboards, switch between browser tabs, wait for pages to load, handle dynamic context. For example, publishing a LinkedIn workflow might involve opening LinkedIn, selecting, creating a post, pasting generated context, right? Uploading the image, boom, previewing a post, right? Everything is performed using that live browser interface, right? Without using the API, right? Step number 9, mission results are returned. What task to complete? The browser agent now reports back to the chief operating officer, right, with instructions of results. This now, right, results including tasks complete successfully, screenshots of work, URLs created and context, download reports, times executed, right, error messages, recommended follow-ups. Example, right, mission complete. Let's go, right. LinkedIn published, Facebook updated, and here, like as I said, in ages we can see, right here, it has a summary of what's actually happening, right? And also, let's go to alerts, right? Complete, right? We get it. Oh my days, this is just a beautiful feeling, right? To know you can run. Literally, I feel like the future of business, right, is gonna be playing like an Xbox console, right? I'm telling you, playing GTA, right? It's gonna be like playing a game, right? Because you've got these agents working, right? And that's how two brothers, what's it called, from Medi, were able to do 400 million in 18 months and are on track to do 1.4 billion. Because, man, look at the power that we've got at our hands, right? An increasing power, right? Which we never had before, right? Before, I was hiring a team of 30 plus staff, like in the Philippines, America, other parts of the world, right? And they were doing tasks what will last 7 to 24 hours, sometimes 7 days. AI agents, if I come back, they executed a task in like 5 to 10 minutes maximum, right? Scale, productivity has changed. And this is what it's called building an AI native company, right? It's an awesome time to be living. Like I said, right? The purpose of this step, right, is to give give a human-like interaction, give AI agents like a human-like interaction to work almost on any website, even those without APIs, and allowing automation of complex browser flows, right? So I hope you've been with me to this point. Right. So this is our complete, right, agent architecture, right? We have the user, you're the CEO, you have the AI agent dashboard, right? This is everything I'm telling you right now. I'm going to demonstrate you too, right? This is an agent's dashboard, right? We see all the agents, right? A chief operating officer, right? Our alerts, our monitoring, right? We see everything in real time, right? Our literal team, right? This is our team, our real team is here, right? So it's not like the agents are working alone. No, our real team is here. These are agents and they're going to be communicating with each other, right? So mission control, right? Q, the browser management, the knowledge base, right? Which is a company playbook, the persistent browser, right? So let's just look at these to review. Let's go to our business playbook, right? It's all here, right? Mission control, right? All here, right? This is what I'm saying. We set up the missions, right? The browser setup, all control, like what I just showed you, right? This is a fully eco integrated system, right? Our chat, our chat, right? A command set with our AI agents, right? Team agents, a chief operations officer, our alerts, right? And we're working on another project, right? Similar for a football platform, right? For a football platform. It had the same infrastructure, had the agents, every industry is different, right? So we're working with a jet company, the jet company, literally jet brokerage company. We create specialized agents, right? For that jet broker company, right? One day I'm going to do a live, how can I say, a live like case study on it, right? For a jet broker company and a live case study for a football company, a football platform with brokers, agents, academies, right? Same ecosystem, right? So you can see how it works with any industry. So, like I said, then we have a Playwright browser or manager, and then we have all these different platforms what we can log in to start interacting with, right? So, I want to say, right, the architecture, which is so important, right, which is changing the game. The architecture effectively turns the browser into a secure digital workstation for your AI workforce. Instead of every AI agent needing usernames, passwords, API integrations, they inherit a trusted browser environment that already has access to the business tools combined with Playwright for the browser automation and Firecrawl for public web research. And the chief operating officer is the orchestrator of this. This becomes the foundation of your AI native operating system capable of automating work across virtual any web application, right? This is so key. This is the future, right? This is what it takes to build an AI native company from the ground up. You're seeing it live, right? And we help companies literally build AI native companies, right? And companies would become AI native. Number one, the benefits is that, right? The productivity increases by 80%. Their costs decrease, right? Now their AI is at the nervous system of their business, right? They have more free time to do stuff. They're still managing the processes, right? But this is future. This is business, right? Almost like in the 22nd, 20, we're in the 21st, the 22nd century, right? It's just like we've just come like 100 years, right? Advancement, right? To the space where we are. Right? Imagine the old days, you start a business, one literally you had to have a lot of capital, right? But now the playing field has been leveled. The playing's been leveled. So now it's gonna be easier. And that's why Open AI Sam Altman said we are moving towards right one person building $1 billion company because this is the fact reason for why I'm telling you now because one person can build an AI native company from the ground up and industries are just being how can I say being they're going to be English whether you have an insurance company a finance company, any industry, right? The playbook is being churned upside down, right? 360 degrees, where we're heading to, right? So I hope you're on this trend, right? So now, right, let me go back to our platform, right? I want you to see this in live. I've got some questions I'm going to answer. Let me see these questions. I've hope you found this stream insightful so far. Someone asking me again, what is a persistent browser? Like I said, a persistent browser is that what I just showed you. It remembers everything, all your logins, just like as if you're acting as a human being, logging into a Chrome browser, right? You're signed into Chrome. Now, with an AI agent, can go and do exactly the same thing. And also, it can go later back on and go back into the browser without asking authentication, passwords, right, etc. and whatnot. Why do AI agents need a browser instead of APIs? Well, all a browser does, right, it circumvents the API access route right? And it gets quick access, right? Really and true. Some APIs are expensive. Some APIs have limitations, like Facebook has limitations, right? APIs are a fantastic way when they're available, but business tools either don't have APIs or they don't expose every feature that's necessary. A browser lets an AI interact with websites exactly as a person would, clicking buttons, completing forms, uploading files, downloading reports, navigating through interfaces, right? Anything that a human can do, right? What role will Playwright play in the play automation? Basically, Playwright is a technology that gives AI agents control of a real browser. It allows the agent to open browser, click buttons, type in forms, wait for pages to load, upload documents, take screenshots, etc. Think of Playwright as an AI's employees' hands, right? With a touch of the mouse doing stuff, right? That's when it becomes incredibly powerful. Does AI need to know my password? This is the magic, right? This is the magic. My battery's gonna die. Let me just plug in for power. This is the magic, right? It doesn't need to know your password. AI never needs to know your password because once you log in, right, for your secure browser, that browser remembers your authentication session, and AI can use saved browser sessions and not your credentials. This allows so much for encryption, right? Generally safer environment, keeping your password safe, etc. Right? What types of tasks can a browser AI agent perform? Many, that we just demonstrated, right? They can automate a variety of tasks, do day-to-day business tasks. Look at all these agents that we have, right? We're running like 69 plus agents, right? And we have a dashboard to monitor them. So they can do any specific task that you see an agent here working, a VIA appointment setter, a visual aids design agent, 48 hour. They can do any of those tasks potentially, right? Can multiple agents use the same browser? Yes, but they should be coordinated. This is the key factor. In an AI workflow, a browser manager or a chief operating officer agent can control access that multiple AI agents, employees don't interfere with each other. It's so key. For example, if one agent could be posted, another agent could be checking like customer inquiries. This is like what we have here, right? They're all running, right? Sometimes through the same browser. So the AI, the chief operating officer, right, is the orchestrator that ensures the tasks have no conflicting roles. It's so important. Where does Firecrawl fit into the architecture? Firecrawl and Playwright solve different problems, right? Firecrawl is excellent for gathering information from public websites, converting pages, getting structured data that the AI can analyze if any given tasks need to do that, right? Playwright is used when the AI needs to interact with a website, especially after logging in together to make a powerful combination too, right? AI Firecrawl also gets information while Playwright completes the task or work. How secure is a persistent browser session? Good question. Security is one of the most important parts, right, when it comes to this architecture, because each browser profile can be encrypted and isolated in its own workspace, right? Businesses should always implement a role-based permissions, authenticated workflows, sensitive actions, right? Detailed activity logs, right? And secure storage. This is where, right, the chief operating also plays a role, but also we have a security manager, right? AI agent, what manages the process, right? So let me just go. Let's see. I want to demonstrate that. Actually, let me flip this, right? Let me go to security. Security, right? So here, right, we'll control the security agent. This is every agent that we have, right, reports, right? And because every agent reports, every agent has some kind of dashboard in order to report to. So we can go in there, the chief operating officer can go in there, right? So that's key and fundamental. So the security agent, what's working background, this is the dashboard where it's reporting to, right? So we see everything, right? Security, right? It's measuring all this, right? DOS, right? Abuse, authentication and passwords, right? What we're telling, authentication and passwords, right? Login systems, authentication, right? This is what it's managing. Database access, API access, right? Maintenance, right? The security agent, right, is working in the background monitoring this, right? So this is so key. So key, right? So a lot of it this is why I said, right, if you're just running Claude, right? Claude, you're just running Claude co-work, you might run Herpes, you might run Hermes, sorry, Hermes, and one a few other agents, right? You're running them, right? But they need an environment, an ecosystem to work within, right? If you have an orchestra, a platform like this, now you have a fully integrated auto system where these things happen, right? What does this mean for the future of AI employees, right? A persistent browser session moves AI beyond chatbots into the role of digital workers. Instead of answering only answer questions, AI agents and employees can now carry out meaningful work across all business systems: sales, marketing, finance, customer support, administration, combined with working with the company playbook, the memory, a coordinating chief operating officer, and executive talent, right? All browse enabled, the AI becomes part of an AI native. That's the word, AI native workforce, right? This is what we are building. I hope you felt this stream successful and insightful, shall I say, right? And I want you definitely to build your business to make it AI native. This is the future of business, right? So those businesses will adapt this now, right? Let me just go back and see, right? It's going to be a game changer, right? I want to quickly show you something if it's possible. Well, it's going to be a game changer, right? Let me see if it comes. Let's see what Google's what let me put it actually let me put it. Gosh, yeah. Since AI has been evolving, right? I'm going to put worldwide, right? Let's check this, right? So this is the interest over time, right? This is important, right? So over time, right now it has dipped, right? AI has its ups and downs, right? But this is in the past year, right? But we can see, right? Just like in trading, right? The interest is getting higher. Look, interest part one, interest part two, interest part three, it dipped, interest part four. So by the time this comes back up, right, it's gonna have a high, you have your dips, your highs and your lows, right? I want all of you, right, who have been accessed, they'll be privy to access information to ride this trend, right? Because those are the companies, right? You're the companies, you're the CEOs, you're the founders, right? Who are gonna crush like like building an AI native, right? And being first, right? To build to dominate your industry completely, right? To completely, because rather than just using ChatGPT, Hermes, Claude Cowork, right? You're patching your business with AI. The future is to be an integrated AI integrated to the nervous system of your business, right? So I hope you found this stream successful. If you want to work with us to help your company become AI native, just click the link in the description and I'll see you in the next stream.